Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, November 15th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will be having a Time for Change call this coming Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then a Reverse Aging Health call on Friday of this week. Shine the light of consciousness into your unconscious, and you will illuminate your soul. Right now, there is a massive amount of hidden, unknown, buried material in our unconsciousness. So sometime today, for about 30 minutes, bring your awareness into your unconsciousness. Now, how, you might ask, how do you do this? Sit in a dark room, close your eyes, relax deeply into your belly and body. Allow any thoughts to arise that may be hidden beneath the surface. When they do, the instant they enter your mind, imagine you're shining a bright golden spotlight on them immediately. However, this light is so powerful, it incinerates the thought, and they dissolve instantly, giving more space for you inside. During this exercise, know that you are safe here, no matter what you experience. Even though you may see nothing and feel nothing, stay present to the void. You may feel your entire body and mind have disappeared. Simply remain present and aware that consciousness is always here. The mind turned inwards is the self. Turned outwards, it becomes the ego and all the world, Ramana Maharishi. In each moment of this life, we have the choice to respond to life from a completely new, alive, and freeing space that is born in the now. Or we can react from an older unconscious condition pattern that stems from a past story. The choice is always ours in each second if we respond from a fresh place of freedom or from past conditioning. The type of story we are talking about is not that enjoyable fantasy fairy tale story that we all enjoy listening to around the campfire. It's that one that we drag around like an old ball and chain attached to a heavy, shielded yet wounded heart. The infamous victim story is one most of us know all too well. It's the one that is fixated on how another wronged us, or how we are struggling with money, or unable to find the love of our lives, or create the career we really want. We often unconsciously believe that by repeating the story over and over, it will help us to escape, transcend it, escape it and transcend it, or feel better about our poor, lonely, victimized self. What really happens is that by repeating what we don't want to manifest in our lives, we simply become more wrapped up in the ego's illusions of being trapped, helpless, and powerless. The good news is that we always have the power to transcend our story if we can become conscious enough to see who or what is truly creating it. It's good to know that all of our stories were created by some life event, or big or small, that actually happened. The event naturally occurred, then the mind took over and invented its special, specific, positive or negative meaning on top of the actual event. So we invite you to take this entire week to write down and notice all the stories you tend to repeat in your mind and to the other people. This is a very powerful, life-changing exercise. Notice if they are positive or negative stories, and who would you be without any of these stories? These stories stick because something happened in your life that your mind judged as wrong or absolutely always right, and found some sort of peace within that perception. However, when you hold on to any thought or idea about life too lightly, you become overly attached and miss this amazing universe that's happening now. Attachment always leads to some attachment, always leads to some future suffering, and it's always your choice if you want to be free and manifest more of amazing goodies, or be stuck with the same old small tune. Keeping a story from your past alive takes a lot of work and will drain all of your energy. It will keep you living in the illusion and never awaken to the divinity within your being. This illusionary mind loves to create stories about stories. Heck, you may even be creating a story about this exploration of stories. The reality is that you are not this mind, nor your ego, nor your body, and certainly not an accumulation of all your stories. You are much more than can be expressed in words. You are an infinite soul, beyond the ideas of freedom and love. You are and always will be so much vaster than any story your ego could invent. You will continue to exist long after this story has been forgotten by you and the world. Your being is naturally expansive and completely free. You have just been covering up your true infinite nature with stories. The tricky part in transcending any story is that your ego loves the drama of an emotionally juicy adventure. It's like chocolate ice cream to a child. One life's traumas and deep issues are so personal, wild, crazy, and feel so real that they often make us feel unique, that we are even someone superior or special. The truth is that everyone was born uniquely superior, special, and we all have the same core issues deep inside. These core issues are about being unloved, unwanted, abandoned, and unworthy. What a great recipe to instigate massive transformation in one's lifetime. You may find yourself sticking to these issues because the mind gets busy entertaining the victim story instead of being truly curious about recognizing your divine infinite nature. These personal issues can make up a major part of who we think we are. So, to let go of them in many ways can feel like letting go of your entire identity. If you dropped the story, you would have to do the scariest thing of all. You'd need to totally reinvent yourself. Maybe this isn't such a bad thing. You could choose to only be loved, free, powerful, and without any limitations. Is this a challenge you would be willing to take on? Letting go of your story may feel like dying, yet in the end, there is no death without some kind of rebirth. So how does one truly transcend their story? Just watch it. Don't participate in it. Notice if you are focusing on what you want or don't want. See how present you are to the now moment, or just reprogramming yourself with more illusions from your past. The experience you have will always be created from your personal interpretation and universal perception. If you find that you are really stuck putting energy into how you aren't enough of this or that, and you may simply need some tools to shift your experience. So over the next 7 days, use all 3 of these story-stopping techniques. If you find one that works better than the others, then use that one all week long. Yet try all 3 techniques and see how each changes and challenges you in its own unique way. Stop relying on your story. When you hear yourself telling somebody your famous story that makes you feel small, powerless, or less than divine, immediately stop yourself, even if you're in mid-sentence. As soon as you stop repeating your story, you stop giving it energy, and the story soon withers away. Imagine a big red stop sign in front of you. You simply stop the mouth from talking. Don't move a muscle. Be absolutely still and silent, and investigate deeper inside to dissolve where this story is coming from and what this part of you actually is yearning to feel, be, do, or have. Become an archaeologist explorer and start digging. If you are socializing while you are storytelling and you need some space to do the digging, gently remove yourself from the situation and go sit in the bathroom and investigate the source of the saboteur. It is worth it. These stories can ruin our lives or transform them. If we take time to really look at our stories, we will discover that it takes what it takes to transcend them completely. By simply seeing how your story is an illusion of the past and that the ego is stubbornly holding on to it, so you are instantly free of it. Take 5 steps back from your story. Freedom comes from finding the space between you and your story. When your story arises and you feel it pulling you in, imagine that you are taking 5 large steps back away from your story, just as if you were stepping back from an angry person, growling dog, or some feisty child who has had too much sugar. Take one small step if you cannot take a large one. And with each step, take a deep breath of air and become the observer. Look at your story like you were watching a movie or TV show. Recognize that it's just that. Some drama being played out over and over and over on your ego's video screen. Now that you are separate from the story, it is easier to see the truth of it and be free from it. Replace your story with gratitude. When you identify the story that you are most attached to, the one you repeat most often, each time you start repeating it, simply state one thing that you are grateful for instead. Refocus your mind on what is working in your life and what you are grateful for right now. There are literally thousands and thousands of things that we all can be grateful for, no matter where we are or who we are. We can be grateful that the sun rose this morning to heat our planet, that we have clean drinking water, or that we are breathing with life in this moment instead of dying. The list goes on and on and on. Just look around at this world and notice the beauty, the detail, and the exquisite abundance. The more time you spend in gratitude, the faster your ego stories will die and become distant memories. When you're in a place of gratitude, you automatically send out positive energetic vibrations, which in turn magnetize to you the kind of positive, uplifting things you want to manifest. Once you leave your story behind, you can see the truth of your existence and experience the total freedom from your ego's suffering and limited beliefs. This exercise will help you be liberated once and for all from your stories. You can do it. Go for it. Not that hard. Once you're into the habit, it's not that difficult. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we all care to do, always the first thing in the morning, first thing at night, always relax the body. It should, for all of us, it should be front and center. Okay, body, we're going to relax. It's good for the body. It's good for you. It's de-stressing. You dump off all the crap. Let it fall away. You see you're in this vortex, and as you relax the body and you focus on your breath, and you take a good breath in through the nose and a good breath out through the mouth. And as you're doing this, you're in this vortex. It's beautiful because it's silent. You have no mind chatter or anything. And you release all of the things that you're dragging with you. And you see as they go into the storm. And the storm is around. You're in this quiet, peaceful vortex, this void. And you see all this stuff fly off of you. And it's absorbed by the storm, never to be seen again. And that's when the body begins to just let go. The body's smart. It's very intelligent. And it talks with us all the time. It will let you know, put some more attention here, put some more attention there. You know, we need a little bit more concentration over here, a little bit more help here. So we're in this beautiful void, and we have dropped all of these attachments. You feel the body get quite light, almost like a feather. It's like you can't, in fact, lighter than a feather where it won't come all the way to the ground. It'll stay in the air. And always focus on the breath. The breath is paramount. It is our divine, sacred energy. The soul comes into these bodies, powers them up. Body begins to breathe, the lungs. It sustains the body so we can experience the physical. What would happen if we didn't have breath? Well, it's pretty obvious. We wouldn't be able to be in these bodies. So being in the now, by focusing on your breath, every time we focus on the breath, it's in the now. It isn't in anything else. It is in the now. And we step outside the ego mind, subconscious mind, because we're not entertaining them. We're not interacting with them. We've literally left them alone. This is where we can view them, and this is the only place that you begin to master them. They're great allies, but they're horrible masters. Now, you picture in front of you, you have three paths. One to the left goes off, one to the right goes off, one in the center goes straight ahead, in the middle path. And you see, each one has a beautiful path, shimmering gold, sparkling, bright, light, golden light. But you notice that the one on the left and the one on the right seem to have kind of been used so much that they don't have as much of a glow. The one on the left, this is the past. Now, we all have memories. They're great. Nostalgia, memories. We reminisce. We even visit the memories that we experienced that weren't that great. But we don't stay there. We leave. And we go forward. But some of us will stay there. We stay there so long, and I don't believe we do it on purpose. We just get in the habit of doing it. So we end up taking that past, we bring it into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past, and we relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people who do this, you have to figure out, they will always say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, others of us will take the right path. This is the future path. Oh, and understand, all along, the now is right beneath our feet. And so the future path is actually a future that doesn't exist because we haven't created the future. We create the future in the now. So we'll wander off and we'll talk to other people, and psychics and tarot readers, card readers, and ask, when am I going to have the job of my dreams? When am I going to make enough money? When am I going to be healthier and happier? When is this going to happen for me? When am I going to meet the right partner, the right match? And when we do this, we suffer. So you can start to see that everything takes place in the now. The past, the now, the future. You can see how when we step out of the ego mind and the subconscious mind, why we don't have that noise and that chatter. And we all generate 60,000 plus thoughts per day. We have tens of millions of program thoughts floating by like clouds in the sky. Those are the ones we grab onto, and we say to ourselves, okay, so I'm wandering off, and it's really strange. All of us, none of us are exempt. Sooner or later, these thoughts that aren't ours, that are programs, you might as well call them programs, they come flying through, and we just grab onto them, and we wander off. This is when it's so important to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble, and in pure, deep, eternal gratitude. And so when you could be focused on anything. We've all done it. You're focused on something, and you're just in the now, and all of a sudden you've wandered off in these other thoughts. And they're tricky because they convince you, the ego mind convinces you, well, these are your thoughts. Say, your name's attached to them. They're your thoughts. And then you start figuring out, no, they're not my thoughts. They never were. They came in. When we generate thoughts, we send them out to the universe. And then the universe starts creating. But when we receive them, that's a dead giveaway to let you know they're not your thoughts. And you watch what happens when you say, you're not my thoughts. They disappear. And then the other ones that'll come in is that ego mind will keep trying to hack in there, and the ego mind will keep trying to come in and say, "Oh yes, these are your thoughts. They're your thoughts. What are you talking about?" Come back in here. You don't need to step outside. But as we do this, we choose to do it, we discover all of this. We discover the power of the now. And every time you focus on your breath, you can do this anywhere. You wander off you could be walking around doing something, and then you wander off with these different thoughts. And you just focus on your breath, you're in the now. 3,000% of the time, when you focus on your breath, you're in the now. So whenever you start wandering off, you just focus on your breath. Easy in through the nose, easy out through the mouth. We start suffering when we're not in the now. When we visit the past too much and we visit the future a lot. That's why the now makes things so much simpler. Now we know that these bodies are like suits, right? They're like cases for us that we enter. And we know that the soul that we are, the God source, powers the body that carries us around. And we know that when we look inside the body, which, remember, you're not the name, you're not the personality, you're not the character, you're the God within it. So you see these, we all can see them. They look like balls of light, different colors. Not like colors here on Earth. Much different, much more vibrant and deep. And these are known as chakras, and chakra means wheel. These are wheels of light. They're etheric spiritual energy. We, the gods, are etheric spiritual energy. We flow through these chakras, these wheels of light. We're connected to everything in these bodies, inside and out, head to toe, above and below. Right down to the quantum quark, all of our blood cells, everything. There's nothing that we have not flowed through and know. So that's why we get a checkup all the time with ourselves, and we start focusing on the body and the gods that we are as we flow through the body. We pick up and identify all kinds of things. And then we communicate with the body, and then we begin to heal them. It's that simple. But yet there's the ego mind. It's there saying, no, you can't do that. That's not possible. How the heck can you do that? And see, then when you try, and it's real easy to just go, it doesn't work. Can't do that. And that's what a lot of us do. Now, we know that we are consciously aware. What is consciously aware? It means that we know that we are the God, that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. That's what we are. So we know that that's heaven, the gods that we are. We are heaven, the soul, the God source, the kingdom of God. Heaven. And the body is earth. So we are literally heaven on earth. And every step that we take, we are literally creating paradise. Not only that, but we have learned through conscious awareness of who and what we are to shine our light, to blast everything around us, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Blasting our golden white light, our golden white pink light, blasting out on everyone, every form of life. Doesn't matter how it's housed, every form of life. You'd be amazed that when you do that, and you do it from the heart mind. It may seem a little strange at first. Not a big deal. But as you continually do it, it becomes something that you want to do all the time. You imagine around 8 billion gods blasting their light on each other and everything and all life. Highest supreme value universe. Now, not all of us yet. Parts of us, remember, are still asleep. Parts of the gods we are still asleep. So they're with us, but they don't participate in these meditations. We're only communicating directly with parts of ourselves that are consciously aware and awake to a certain extent. So if you were to leave, take a little trip outside the planet, about 200 miles out, look at the planet, and you would see that it glowed. Not only that, you would look around all the lights in the universe, and you'd see that they all dim in comparison. There is no brighter light than the light of the gods that we all are. Not even close. If you've ever seen a pulsar on how bright it is, the light that we are is by far brighter. Now, this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the off-worlders, galactic, celestials. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why when we're walking around doing our thing, driving, we don't see them like we see each other. But I'll tell you, on occasion, you will have some of the strangest interactions with angels in all of your lifetimes. You might be driving along a lonely highway and there's one person hitchhiking. Now, for some reason, you don't feel fearful. You're not concerned about being harmed. And you feel this enlightenment, this energy inside you in your chest and your heart. And something compels you to pull over and pick up the hitchhiker. This isn't the ego mind, this is the heart mind. And you pick up the hiker, and you feel an overwhelming warmth. And as they communicate with you, there's something different about them. And so you take them and you drop them wherever they wanted to go, or as close to where they wanted to go, and they bid you adieu, and you continue on driving. Something comes over you and says, that was a very different kind of interaction. That had to have been an angel. And the reason that they do that with us, even they're part of us. The God is housed in them. It's part of the gods in us. The reason they do this is to convey things to us, to give us messages. And sometimes we pick them up, we acknowledge them. Other times the ego mind is too front and center for us to acknowledge it. We just kind of brush it off. But in true reality, they love us deeply and dearly as we do them. So they're always trying to give messages and communication. Now, one of the prime messages that they give us is that, isn't it absolutely magna glorious and fantastic, stupendous to be alive in these bodies? Now, some once in a great blue moon, you will experience where they'll say that to you in person. But usually it's indirect in their conversations. And it is magna glorious to be alive in these bodies. When we finally stop the chatter, the ego mind control, we start to realize, do we smile as gods? No. Do we laugh? Do we cry? No. Do we eat? Taste? No. Do we sleep? No. All the things that we experience in these lives that so many of us have taken so much for granted, lifetime after lifetime. every single one's a miracle. To breathe is a miracle. To pay attention to these bodies is a miracle. And then so many of us wonder why. Why is the body breaking down? Why am I having these issues? Well, probably because we ignored them for decades. And they're finally screaming mad at us. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time into tens of thousands or tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can house a large number in a small area. And if you would like them to surround you, ask. They will, almost instantaneously. And that is bliss. Now, all of the awakened soul, to a certain extent, these are in gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this entire universe with not even one sacred square inch of space available. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have mastered the physical. They've mastered ascending into the physical, out of the physical, and they hold pure consciousness, pure God form. We have ascended into physical, but we are mastering physical. We haven't mastered it yet. So we're mastering physical. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the off-worlders, galactic celestials, we're only familiar with just a very tiny number of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day, 1,000 different species, and trillions throughout the universes every day. The ones that we're familiar with are the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Felines, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Anunnaki, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian. Now, this particular group has been assisting us with our evolution, enlightenment, and ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. The light energy beings with this planet, because of the eyes we have with these bodies, we don't see but about 1% of what is. And they come in color, shape, size, as far as configurations we don't see. But there is a smidgen of those that we're familiar with and that we interact with and that we do see some. Those are fairies, sprites, dwarves, gnomes, elves, trees, trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, mermaid, the dolphin, whale, Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. Now, we're all gathered, so to speak, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around this planet, the equator of it, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. This light emanates from the kingdom of God, the God source, the Creator, all of us. It is so bright that it grays out the sacredness the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns alone just to come close to its brightness. This is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, peace. And it is flooding this planet. All of us, head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, nonstop. This is what everything is. It's what we all are. We're not separate from it. We are it. We begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. And it's flashing everywhere. It's like a ballroom mirrored globe, but it's 1 trillion times more intense and 1 trillion times larger, reflecting everywhere. It's like a grand finale fireworks display in the sky. It's like a laser light show, all combined. Colors that we've never seen before. So we're curious, so we go and look at the reflective points, and we see these microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. And so we enter into them, we discover that we're all learning and teaching non-stop. No matter how the life is housed, within whatever vessel, whether it be a tree, a bird, a bug in the rug, a fly on the wall, a deer passing by. It's something that we're learning, something that we're being taught. Only if we take the time and a time out from the ego mind and the subconscious mind and notice it. There are so many messages that come to us from life, this life, on how it's all housed, but we miss the majority because we're so distracted with the ego mind and the physical external world that we miss a lot. You could sit in a park or in the woods and watch and listen. Close your eyes. Breath in through the nose, breath out through the mouth. Just listen. You'd be amazed on what takes place. This is the true nature of the being of life. All of us. The body isn't. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created. It reminds us all that we are the power of healing. And the day will come where all of us will discover that we can heal these bodies in the blink of the eye. We're then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we created of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire light. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with a white fire armor. This is not like the armor on this planet. That's way beyond that. A white fire armor. It protects us all the time. So there's no demon possession. There's no attachments. There's no lower dark matter, survival matter, frequency, encroachment. They can't come around us. Any lower dark matter, survival matter, frequency cannot get around us because of our high frequency. They'll vaporize, so they don't even bother to come into our field. Period. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, anger, greed, fear, envy, hurry, revenge, you will create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, And that's when things can happen, the potentiality of them. Demon possession, attachments, lower dark matter, survival matter frequency, all kinds of activities. But you're immediately met with a double column of light. The first column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column of light to remind us all we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. The second part of column of light is the violet ray. We created this column to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, and restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met by the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of us gods in these bodies, that we are the sunlight. We are the sun. We are the rain and rainbows. We are the sky, clouds. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the soils, trees, the forests, the mountains. All life. The highest supreme value in the universe. So it's not like when you have been looking at a sunset or a sunrise or a starlit night sky, when you would say, as you were separate from it, you would say, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. That's something, it'd be so beautiful. But you miss it. You miss the point, the understanding. It is I, the God that I am. That sunset, that sunrise, it's you. You're the beauty. You're the divineness. You're the majesty. You're the love. The greatness. The supreme being. It is you. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And when we discover this, each of us for ourselves, the life that you have now will be forever changed. You then will no longer look at the external physical reality, external physical world, the material world, as life. You will look at it as experience. Because you are the life. You fill the body with life. You spread the light, the love light energy everywhere. You're the life, not the body. You bring life, you take it away. When you come into the body, you supercharge it, it's up and running. It sustains you, the God. When you leave the body no longer functions. You bring life, you take life. You're the life. You're immortal. And the day will come when we have the option that these bodies will be immortal. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us decide to step out our physical form and hover effortlessly above them, if we're carrying physical form. And why do we do this? Because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower that we created. It's larger than this solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we can see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, we see this golden white bowl of light, and we see it surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light. And they're all sending this, looks like this massive cloud mist, sparkling. It looks like it's got some electrical in it, and it absorbs into us, and it is like a warm embrace. that never ends. We notice that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, peace, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance. And we discover that it is all a reflection of the gods that we are. We look at the top of the crystal light tower. We designed it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, as it's flooding, saturating, and bathing all of us in all life, the highest supreme value in universes. What is this golden ocean? It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Now, we're drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops, drops of the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It sets center circle. We created this sphere moving towards 4 years ago. Over 1,600, nearing 1,700 of our meditations in perpetual motion. What does that mean? These meditations don't die. They do the opposite. They intensify and expand. They're forever. They're eternal. All the intentions of hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent of who and what we are, the gods, the love, the peace, the kindness, the gentleness, the gratitude, focusing on the total liberation of this planet, the complete removal permanently of all the layers and layers and layers of lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, forever, permanently. Eliminating millions of years of infestation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. In this meditation, every day. This is why the shift has happened. This is why this is all occurring. Us and other smaller groups around the planet, this is why. We are the power, the gods that we are. Imagine the most exotic, heavenly, healing home of your dreams. Design it in your mind in great detail. Picture the layout of the land, the size of the home, the structure, interior, decorations. Perhaps you have an outdoor pool, sauna, hot tub, and personal massage parlor. This is your fantasy home, so make it the most exotic version you can fathom now. Imagine your dream home is inside your heart. Actually visualize it there. See yourself in it, feeling safe and secure here. Know that you can leave to return to this palace at any time. Merge with the energy and feel in your heart center and relax into it. Rest and receive any awesome healing energy that can comfort you. This space is extraordinary. An indescribable abundance and joy exists here that will spread all throughout your life. Abide in your heart's inner fantasy, sanctuary today, and carry it inside you wherever you go. I'll join you in meditation and return to close us out. take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. We dare you to jump 100% into your life. Stop watching your life whiz past you from the sidelines. It's time to take the leap of faith and pursue your true passions. What inspires you more than anything else? Are you doing that every week? If not, make it your number one priority, because you, each of us, all of us, deserve to enjoy this amazing life that we're living. You get to choose how it goes. You're the master creator and designer of it all. Look at those people who have inspired you before. Nothing stopped them. They just went for it. It's safe to take that leap onto your life right now. And oh yeah, it feels oh so good. It's your turn to follow your bliss. We applaud you on. Go for it. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Tuesday, November 16th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.